This is PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube.
Hello and welcome to PSN Newsrun. Our top stories. State House releases new policy report detailing government activities. NNPC refinery revamp faces huge hurdles amidst heavy funding. And on sports, striker Tolu Arokodare close to leaving KRC Genk, while Jose Mourinho coaching comes to an abrupt end. All this and more on PSN Newsrun. Nigeria's quest for a $1 trillion economy by 2030 has received a major boost as the National Economic Council endorses the renewed Hope Development Plan. Joycelyn files in this report from the State House.
The National Economic Council, NEC, has endorsed the renewed Hope Development Plan, a medium-term economic strategy covering the years 2026 to 2030. Unveiling the plan at the 151 meeting of the Council in Abuja, Vice President Kashim Shettima said the initiative is critical to Nigeria's ambition of becoming a $1 trillion economy by the end of the decade. The Vice President explained that the new framework will consolidate ongoing reforms, deepen policy continuity, and ensure Nigeria's development agenda remains aligned with the long-term goals of Agenda 2050. Shettima stressed that the plan will be participatory, involving state and local governments, the private sector, civil society, labor groups, youths, and traditional institutions.
National Economic Council, chaired by His Excellency Vice President, was briefed on the aspiration of the Nigeria Medium-Term National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 and preparation of the successor plan, the Nigeria Medium-Term National Development Plan 2026 to 2030. The background is that in the year 2020, a perspective plan, which is the 30-year plan named Agenda 2050, was approved for the country. It was drawn up by the private sector, public sector, civil society organization, and traditional rulers, political parties, and all shades of opinion to reflect the fact that it is a national plan.
He further disclosed that Narseni has scaled up the local production of solar-powered irrigation pumps, which will cut energy costs for farmers and boost dry season farming nationwide. On health, the Council directed the Accountant General of the Federation to fast-track the release of funds for the next round of the National Polio Immunization Campaign, while urging states and partners to strengthen surveillance and integrate technology into routine vaccination programs.
The committee was principally set up in order to see to the stoppage of the circulating virus type 2, which is the new variant. And it is more in the states of the Northwest, particularly Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara. And also there was a case in 2024 at Gombe. The progress so far made has shown that epidemiological data is on a downward trend from about 78 cases in 2024 as at the 33rd week, which is the week of our last meeting in August.
The meeting also received an update on Nigeria's account balances.
First, SS crude account, we stood at $535,823.39. Second, a destabilization account, we stood at $78,453,757,583.19. The third account that was presented was a natural resources account. We stood at $106,727,969,527.59. Thank you very much.
With the current National Development Plan set to expire in December, preparations for the Renewed Hope Plan will commence in September to ensure its completion and presidential launch before the year ends. Reporting for PS News, Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada.
NNPC's plan to revive its refineries is proving tougher than anticipated. The company blames years of neglect for setbacks. Here's Joycelyn with details.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is facing mounting challenges in revitalizing the nation's three major refineries in Warri, Port Harcourt and Kaduna. NNPCL's Group CEO, Bayo Ojulari, cited decades of neglect, likening the refineries to old cars parked without oiling, leading to failure in restoring them despite heavy investment. In a bold restructuring move, Ojulari dismissed the managing directors of the three refineries and launched an assessment team led by the executive vice president, downstream Mumuni Dagazo, to evaluate current conditions and recommend a long-term overhaul strategy. Rehabilitation efforts have hit unpredictable snaps. The Port Harcourt refinery, after a brief resumption in late 2024, was shut down again in May due to fresh defects. Repairs at Warri and Kaduna also remain incomplete. Amid pressures from stakeholders, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, issued an ultimatum: either fix the Port Harcourt refinery or resign. The prolonged shutdown has disrupted fuel supply, job security, and local economies. Beyond technical woes, critics argue that rehabilitation efforts backed by billions spent continue to yield little due to systemic inefficiency. Some analysts suggest that privatization of hybrid public-private models may offer a more viable route forward. Meanwhile, Ojulari says the strategic review expected by year-end will determine whether continued state-led operations make sense or if outright sale of the refineries becomes necessary. Reporting for PS News, Joycelyn Ella Keche Ada.
Over 14 billion naira has been spent on feeding inmates awaiting trial in just 8 months, raising fresh concerns over justice delays and prison congestion. Let's join Marianne for details.
The federal government have revealed that inmates awaiting trials in correctional facilities across Nigeria consumed 14 billion naira on feeding within the first 8 months of 2025. The disclosure was made by the Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who described the expenditure as a major burden on government resources. According to him, a large portion of funds went into feeding over 50,000 inmates who are yet to be convicted but remain in custody due to delayed trials. Tunji-Ojo stressed that the situation highlights the urgent need for reforms in Nigeria's criminal justice system. He noted that while the government must uphold the rights of detainees, the financial strain of prolonged trial delays is unsustainable. The minister further urged stakeholders including judiciary, police, and correctional services to work together to decongest the prisons and reduce the numbers of awaiting trial inmates. Analysts warn that without urgent reforms, Nigeria's correctional system risks collapsing under the weight of rising costs and overcrowding. Marianne Awuya, PS News.
Meanwhile, government says doubled passport fee will curb corruption and speed up delivery. Ella files in this report.
The Nigerian Immigration Service says the 32-page 5-year passport will now cost 100,000 naira and the 64-page 10-year passport 200,000 naira. The new rates take effect September 1st, 2025 and do not affect diaspora applicants, which stay at $150 and $230 respectively. The Interior Ministry and NIS argue the review is needed to sustain passport quality, curb racketeering, and ensure faster delivery. The minister said reforms, including a centralized personalization center and removing discretionary approval powers from field officers, aim to deliver passports within about a week of enrollment and cut human contact that fuels extortion. Many Nigerians criticized the timing amid economic hardship. Opposition figures also called it an added burden on citizens. Civil society groups and commentators urged a phased approach or relief for low-income applicants. This is the second hike in a year in September 2024. Fees rose to 50,000 32-page 5-year and 100,000 64-page 10-year before this latest doubling. Applications filed in Nigeria from September 1 will reflect the new fees, diaspora fees unchanged. Authorities advise using official NIS channels to avoid touts and to benefit from the digitized process. Ella Okechukwu, PS News.
South Africa is on edge as opposition leader Julius Malema faces a guilty verdict over hate speech. Marianne is on the international desk.
South African opposition leader Julius Malema, head of the Economic Freedom Fighters EFF, has been found guilty of hate speech by a Johannesburg court. The case stems from remarks Malema made at an EFF rally, where he used racially charged language that prosecutors argued incited hatred and undermined social cohesion. The ruling is being described as the landmark judgment, with legal experts noting it reinforces South Africans' constitutional protection against hate speech while balancing freedom of expression. Political observers warn the verdict could heighten tensions ahead of the upcoming elections, as Malema's supporters see the trials as politically motivated. The EFF leader, known for his fiery rhetoric, has vowed to appeal the decision, insisting his comments were taken out of context and aimed at mobilizing marginalized communities. For now, the court's ruling has sparked mixed reactions across the country. Welcomed by civil rights advocates but condemned by Malema's loyal base as an attack on political dissent. Marianne Awia, PS News.
From transfer talks to managerial shakeups, the world of football is buzzing with major developments, and Sam is here to break it all down.
Nigerian striker Tolu Arokodare is reportedly close to leaving KRC Genk, according to club manager Thorsten Fink. The 24-year-old has been linked to several top clubs, including Wolverhampton Wanderers, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, AC Milan, and Napoli. Fink confirmed negotiations are on the way, saying there is a club interested that it was too risky for both parties to play. He said they are working with players they know can give their all, not with players who might be preoccupied. PSN Newsrun reports that Arokodare was left out of Genk's board for the UEFA Europa Conference League clash with Lech Poznan to avoid risk. Arokodare's firm has made him highly sought after. He finished last season as the Belgian Pro League top scorer with 21 goals and was named best African player in the league. Wolverhampton Wanderers are reportedly leading the pack. Now to Turkey. Jose Mourinho tenure as Fenerbahce manager has come to a shocking end, just 6 games into the new season. The dismissal followed Wednesday defeat to Benfica, which saw Fenerbahce crash out of the Champions League qualifiers. A club statement on Friday confirmed that the professional football team has parted ways with Jose Mourinho, who has been serving as head coach since the 2024-2025 season. Reports suggest Mourinho's criticism of the board's transfer strategy strained relationship. Before the Benfica tie, he remarked if the Champions League was vital to his club, something would have been done in the transfer window. He does not think Fenerbahce has a transfer list. The Portuguese coach departed without silverware, finishing second behind rivals Galatasaray in the Turkish Super League last season and failing to progress deep in European and domestic competition. This is Samuel Akban for PS News.
And that's a wrap on PSN Newsrun today. I am Oluwatosin Deba. Good evening.
You just watched PSN Newsrun, streaming exclusively on YouTube. This is your trusted voice for news that matters. Subscribe, like, share, and stay informed.